Next up, the frame and fork for paint rejuvenation. That's what's happening on this episode of Featherstone Bicycles. Before I get started washing the frame, I noticed that there was some adhesive at some point on here, on this side, and possibly a little bit down here. So I'm just going to put some Goo Gone on shop towel. Yeah, that's coming right off. And that part up there. Not as easily as the seat post tube, but it is coming off. All right, that's good. Got some hot water sitting in the tub with some Dawn dishwashing detergent. It's actually the Walmart generic of Dawn. And we're just going to start washing up the frame. When I was doing that. So what I also used was the Walmart multi-purpose cleaner and degreaser. This stuff is fantastic. It's great value. That's their generic brand. And a toothbrush. That'll get all the grease off. Quick update on the Schwinn Honeyhole parts. These are most of the pedals that I pulled out. These are pairs, right and left, matching pairs on the top two tiers, and then on the bottom, well, also this one, and then all of these are singles that don't match. And then below, I have some rim strips that I got. Some are new, some are used. We'll see if I need them in the future. I also pulled out all the reflectors. These are the Schwinn front reflectors. Those are the Schwinn rear reflectors. Most of these are wheel reflectors. Some of those look like original types that were used on Schwinn. And then these are all pieces that go in the pedals, but I wasn't sure if any fit the ones that I have over there on the rack on the slat wall that don't have reflectors, have to still investigate that situation. Put all the spokes together in boxes that were in boxes, and I grouped them by, I thought I was going to group them by individual sizes, but then I wrote down all the different sizes, and there turned out to be 45 of them. So that's not going to fit in there. There's only 30 slots in there. And I really don't think I need 30 different sizes of spokes. So what I decided to do was just put them into groups of major size. So they're all 12 inches. These are 11, 10, 9, 8, and then so on. These were all the ones in boxes or in, other kinds of packages like that. And then these are all empty boxes. I'm not sure what I need to do with that, if I need to do anything. So you can see I have cleaned this area up, but these are all just loose spokes, and there is a ton of them. I don't know. I'm not going to throw them out just yet, but trust me, I'm tempted to. So you can see I've cleaned up all the boxes, and basically what I've done, put the forks over there. But on this shelving unit, see if I can get back further. On this shelving unit, I grouped the parts into major categories. So this is all axle hubs and axle components. This is all brakes, brake calipers and brake levers. Here's some actual calipers in the box. I'm going to save those, obviously. This is derailleurs, both front and back. Anyway, so that's the point. I also have these compartments that I'm not sure even what to do with. There's little pieces in all these, and they're kind of organized, so I'm leaving it as is right now. But that's it. I've got major groups, chains, there's lights, and all generators and wiring and things like that. And then in this, I ran out of shelf space. So in that box on the bottom, there's cranks. In the middle box, there's seats. And in that box, there is handlebars. So I cleaned up another area of the basement and took everything out of this shelving unit. And I'm going to start to put the boxes of spokes in here. So at least I have access to the ones that are new old stock. And so this is then where I ended up putting the spokes. I've got all the 11s on top, then the 10s. Those are the most spokes that I have, probably the most common sizes, I guess, for 26 and 27 inch wheels. And then there's some 9s and some 7s, and then 12s, 8s, a box of 6.5, and then a couple boxes of 5s. So at least the new old stock stuff will be easier to access. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the tool situation. This is the first spoke wrench that I ever got, 012. It's from Park Tool, SW7. And it worked well, but these work a lot easier on your hands, and they're individual, so I have a set of those, 0, 1, and 2, much nicer. Anyway, in the parts, I got another one. That doesn't have a number on it, doesn't say Park Tool, so I don't know what size this is. This is another kind of spoke wrench. This goes from 10, 12, 13, 2 14s, and a 15. And I guess you put that in there and you can turn it that way. Never seen one like that before. Here's an older one. This has some writing on it that I can't make out. I don't know what it's supposed to mean or what kind of spokes it's for, what size spokes. But I thought these were the most interesting ones. These look pretty old. They are definitely two different sizes, but I thought they were pretty cool that they look like wing nuts. And God only knows what era they're from. And speaking of spoke wrenches, I know I've showed you this before, but it's been added to. Yeah, there's a lot of spoke nipples in here. This is not even all of them. There are, I will show you these boxes that I have of the spokes that are new old stock. Most of those boxes have nipples in them that go along with those new old stock spokes. So this is just a reserve for several lifetimes. If you're a regular viewer, you know what's coming next. If you're first time to the channel, I first used the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. This is a liquid compound, and shake it up. Put it, always ends up being a little stuck the first time, like that. And once you get it off your sweatshirt and whatnot, you can start putting it on. This compound gets rubbed off as soon as you're done. And it really, at least on the Schwinns that I've worked on in the Raleighs, really brings out the original luster of the paint. And in my experience, does not damage the decals. I haven't worked on a Peugeot before, so keep your fingers crossed. Now I'm going to use clean microfiber cloth. Is to put on the wax, which is Meguiar's Gold Class Carnauba, also a liquid wax, probably also stuck like the last one because it hasn't been used since the last season. Try to avoid a disaster there. That's good. And unlike the compound, this you let dry. start the seat and clean that up. Like I said, this bike is in good shape. Not as much of a rust bucket as some of the others I've worked on. This I'm just gonna put a little steel wool on. Again, that's quadruple zero steel wool. Chrome is shining up very nice where it was dull. There's no rust on this whatsoever. It did not come out of the seat post easily, so put some grease on there when I, a little bit of grease on there when I reassemble it in the finale. And let's see, for this, I'll take this apart. Although I really don't have to. These come out like that. I think then this whole thing will slide. There we go. Clean those up a little bit. The main thing I'm going to do is clean the saddle here with, I just have some Simple Grain all-purpose cleaner and a shop towel. Just get that, any of that dirt that's in there off. Any dirt that's on there, I should say. I was saying in there because I was looking at this crease where the bottom comes up over the top, and it was looked like it was dirty or dusty in there in that crease. But other than this little scuff mark here on this side, the seat is in great shape. Peugeot logo is still very nice on the back. You know, I don't think I even need to put these up on the wire wheel. Let's see if I can manage this. As usual, the steel wool has shed on my cardboard. So but I mean, as long as it's close, you're going to be all right. And we're obviously going to adjust that. That looks pretty high, but we'll adjust it when we put it all back together. Next time we're going to take the polish off the frame and the fork, and probably start on the chain, get that soaking in some solvent, degreaser, and maybe start on the brakes or something like that. We'll figure something out. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope to see you next time on Featherstone Bicycles.